Hi, my name is Janice, and today I'm at Halley Body Slimming Clinic to understand more about Coolsculpting. Ever since I had kids, my mum tum has been bothering me, and I've heard about Coolsculpting being a non-invasive procedure, so I'm very excited to learn more about it from Dr. Terence, and hopefully my mum tum will be gone.
Welcome to Halley. Today, you're here for...
Coolsculpting.
Okay, alright. I'm very excited. Are you?
Yeah, I'm super excited also.
Okay, alright. So, tell me what are your concerns?
The mum tum, definitely.
Mum tum, okay.
Yes, the mum tum, which has been there since forever.
Okay.
The flabbiness that it's been stuck with me for, I think, for some time already.
Okay, understand.
So I really want to get rid of that.
So stubborn fat, right?
Yes.
You have children, right?
Yes, I have.
How many children do you have?
2 children, 8 and 5.
Okay.
Yes.
And did the sagginess come before, after, during?
I think it worsened after my pregnancy.
Okay.
So initially, I think there was a bit of sagginess already, and then it worsened, and it never seemed to have gotten away.
Okay, so you're a really good candidate for Coolsculpting. Yeah? So you are typical of a lot of people who come. So you're obviously not overweight, and but you have got some stubborn fat. So Coolsculpting is probably #1 in the world in terms of non-invasive.
Oh, that's great.
Fat reduction. Yeah. So how much do you know about Coolsculpting?
Actually, I know that it freezes the fat away, but I mean, is there any side effects or danger to it?
Okay, great, because that's what everybody asks us. Yeah? So number one, whether it works, and then after that, if it works, whether it is safe. So I think everybody asks the same thing. So it's good that Coolsculpting is US FDA approved. So it's basically fat freezing. It's US FDA approved. Over 5 million, and now I think 8 million treatments have been done. And the studies done by the FDA or the Americans show that it is safe and effective. So that's a short answer to a very long question. Yeah. So it is safe, it's effective, and as far as I know, I think it's the world's #1 non-invasive fat reduction method worldwide. Yeah. So that's something that we would do for you later on. And there are other areas that we can also do. Okay, so besides your tummy and your love handles behind, which obviously bothers you, it can be done for the arms, it can be done for the thighs, the inner thighs, the outer thighs, even a double chin, armpit fat, bra fat. A lot of different areas. But for today, we'll talk about the tummy and the love handles, which is obviously, well, in my view, probably the most popular place for Coolsculpting to be done.
Yes.
Okay. So what happens during Coolsculpting? You're right. Basically the fat cells get frozen over a period of about 35 minutes. Some applicators a bit longer, but for today it'll be 35 minutes. Okay. And during this 35 minutes, 20 to 25% of the fat cells over that area will die.
Oh wow!
Through a process of freezing, and it will slowly get reabsorbed through a process called apoptosis. Okay, so apoptosis, programmed cell death of the cells, and your immune system comes and it mops up those cells. But it takes maybe about 2-3 months for you to see a good result. Right? So within that 2-3 months, most people really don't see that much. But it's okay because it's non-invasive. Yeah, just take your time.
So do I have to do anything to get rid of the fats, or you will just...
No, you don't have to.
It will just pass out of the body?
Yeah, and you probably wouldn't even notice it.
Okay.
But of course, when you do a treatment, because it's cooling, sometimes some people complain of a little bit of numbness, mild pain, and there'll be a little redness, maybe for about 2 or 3 days after the treatment. Okay. But certainly very tolerable for most people.
Right.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Now, so as yet said, and we talked about weight a little bit, so this is a little bit different. Weight gain and weight loss and body contouring through fat freezing is a little bit different, okay? So when you gain weight and you lose weight, your fat cells become bigger and they become smaller, but they are of a finite number, as in like the number of fat cells don't change.
Oh, okay.
Because only children can make new fat cells. Adults cannot make new fat cells.
So once I freeze this, it's not going to come back again?
It's good, yeah, so it'll be gone for the long term.
Cool.
Yeah, so if you have non-invasive body contouring, anything which is very effective, like liposuction, Coolsculpting, there will be a reduction in the number of fat cells, but the fat cells remain the same size because you are more or less the same weight.
Right.
Okay, so it's good for stubborn fat. It's not good for massive weight loss. It's good for what you had said, here and there, bulginess, take away. I think that's great.
Right.
So we'll we'll go through that a little bit later. And it doesn't come back because you're no longer a child, you cannot make new fat cells.
Nice.
And yeah, so when the scientists at Harvard invented this machine, these are some of those things that went through their brain. So
you mentioned that I'm a good candidate. Why am I a good candidate besides the fact that I'm not overweight?
okay, so we'll have a better look a little bit later on, okay? But you tell me that you have an issue, so I presume there's some fat there. Okay,
Yes.
so you must have some fat. I mean, if you're really like a bodybuilder, a gymnast, BMI very, very low, there's no fat. Of course, no fat feeding can be done.
Yes.
At the same time, if you are really, really heavy, BMI beyond 30, 40s, sometimes it will be good to pair up with a little weight loss as well because the fat layer is really very thick. And there's obviously a limit to how much you can do with a non-invasive device. Yeah. But for most people, I mean, especially us Asians, us Singaporeans, whereby we have some stubborn fat but we don't have as much, I think it's a great device to do, especially since there's minimal to no downtime.
Right.
And you can go back to your daily activities almost immediately.
Sounds great.
Okay. Do you have any other questions you ask me?
So you were saying like the side effects will be just 1 or 2 days.
Yeah.
Is there anything that I should look out for?
Okay, so I think nothing really. So it's more of an inconvenience after the treatment that you have a lot of pain and numbness, rather than it being something you have to specifically look out for. Most people will ask me, can I exercise after that?
Yeah.
So there's nothing to stop you from exercising. But let's say if you're going to do it on your tummy, you're a bit sore after the treatment, and when you run, it tends to jiggle about up and down a little bit, and you find that you're uncomfortable, then just don't do it.
Right.
But if you can tolerate it, I think it's fine. It's definitely not dangerous.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay, so I'm very excited. Shall we get started?
Yes.
Okay, so
I'm
we're
very
going to go on.
excited too.
So we go on to the body assessment very soon.
Okay.
Yeah, please follow my nurse.
Sure.
Thanks.
Thank you.
The most important thing is for us to have a good plan. No good plan. Once you have a good plan, everything else actually is pretty simple. So let's have a look at tummy. Your tummy looks a little bit more of a narrow kind of tummy. Yeah. There's not that much fat outside, a little bit more centered in the center. So what we want to do is we want to draw. So this is a template to show where we're going to put the applicator, and also oval in shape to tell you where the treatment will be effective. So it's actually quite easy for us to plan. So when you have your tummy, I think we can see where the fat ends. So we want to do a bit of treatment here. So the first applicator probably goes over here. And the second one, you can see a little bit of fattiness over here, so you want with a little bit of overlap in the center. That's 2. Looks nice? Okay. Let's talk a little bit about Coolsculpting, okay? So this is the cooling unit. Okay, so it looks like this. It's just one huge aircon with some very complex machinery to make sure that everything's okay. This is the applicator. So this is a suction type applicator, and this is not big, not small. It's a medium applicator. It's called the Cool Advantage. Now, so this new applicator is a little bit better in a few ways. Okay, so number one, it's a little bit more shallow than the previous applicator, so you don't have to suck in the fat all the way to the top. So some people, the skin is a bit more tense, and you can't really suck in all the way. So this more shallow would be better. Yeah. Number two, you can see, so these dots are actually real-time temperature sensors. So it's very important to have enough of these to make sure that at every single second, every single minute, every single hour, that your skin temperature is being monitored real-time, because it can get too cool, right? So with this, the safety is really, really good. So that's called cool control. Okay, and on top of that, we have certain other technologies inside to make sure that the treatment is safe. And because it's got all these sensitive sensors inside, what happens is that during the cooling process, it's able to cool faster without compromising safety. And as such, you only need to have this cool for 35 minutes. The previous applicators require about an hour, some even 2 hours.
Okay.
So new technology is always better. The cooling process is in the antifreeze. The antifreeze will protect the skin against excessive cooling. So when there's no excessive cooling, it doesn't form ice, the margin of safety is much better. So I will show you how it looks like. It's a bit like this. Okay. There. We go place it over on top. Make sure everything's okay.
Oh.
Yeah, cool, right? Yeah. And we're going to start. Okay, all right. Let's start. How does it feel? Painful? Not painful, okay. Alright, so what we do is leave this about 35 minutes, yeah, and we put on some other applicators, and then we'll see you in 35 minutes when we take out the applicator. It's 35 minutes, we're going to take off the applicator. Okay, we quickly rip this off. Okay, put your hand here quickly. Okay, so this is actually what we call a butter cake. Okay, so a butter cake is when we have a frozen piece of fat that looks like a butter. Actually, it's not true. It's not really that much of a butter cake right now with the newer applicator because it doesn't have enough time to form a nice cake. But last time it used to be a butter cake. But trust me, the results are as good if not better with the new system. Okay, so not so much a butter cake anymore, but still pretty much a butter cake and it's really cold. So do you know what she's doing? Why?
Break down the fats.
Yes, that's right. So right now there are actually quite a few ice crystals inside. And these ice crystals are a little bit abrasive. So we're using the ice crystals to increase the yield. That means to break up some of the KIV viable, KIV not viable kind of fat. So that's what she does. Research has actually shown that when we massage it for about 5 minutes after the treatment, it actually works better than if we didn't have this procedure done. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah, nothing much more to do. We'll just do the rest of the applicators and we'll see you in 2 to 3 months time and we'll do a final review. Okay?
Okay, so I've completed the 12 applications of Coolsculpting with Dr. Terence Tan of Halley Body Slimming Clinic. He basically have explained the procedure to me, and when the applicators were applied to me, I felt that there was a slight numbing sensation, but otherwise it was okay. I can't wait to see the results in about 3 months' time.